What's up, guys? You're on with me again, Tree Boy for Life. Again, tips and tools of the trade for the professional, tree professional, and also the arborist. And this is to help your ground, guys. Now, this is one thing I noticed. You'll see it on Craigslist. If you see an ad, sometime people have shoot videos. A lot of time, inexperienced people choose to, or they don't mean to, but when you're more experienced, or really when you're kind of growing in your business, before you kind of get to the point where you want to take care of your guys, you see guys that they outside with baseball caps on, just a plain baseball cap like this, like a fatigue that blends in, and they're standing under the tree, they're rigging under the tree, and it seems like everything else is right, but they don't have PPE. But here's some PPE for you guys and this is just a general thing, and I'll start off with the gloves. Now, you see my last videos with gloves for climbers. Now, typically, if I have a nitrile or some kind of coated latex, like a smaller glove like this, I choose to use these first because I use these for climbing first before I give them to any guys on the ground. At least when all the sticky stuff wears off, they'll still have the coating, so they fit real well in your hand. You can use them and they last for a pretty good, few days of general use with tree work. If you ain't got a whole lot of pine or nothing really sticky or anything to that nature. So I generally try to use these first before I give them to anybody on the ground, and I keep a bunch of extra gloves, stuff like that. You never know when you'll need that stuff. Extra hard hats, all that good stuff in a bag. But for groundmen, start off with the gloves. I generally like to start them out with either one of these two gloves, and that way they're protected. And if they're using a handsaw, if they're using a chainsaw, I generally try to limit their use of chainsaw as much as possible, because you know how it is. It's hard finding good guys or stable guys to work with you in your tree service. So you have a few loyals and a lot of extra people who are just temporary, fly-by-night type guys. And it's not to offend anybody, but I know how it is. Sometimes you start tree work and you don't understand how hard the work is, and it's just something you can't do. And then, of course, sometimes we can't afford you to pay what we like. Although some guys just try to get guys on their crews and they pay them a little next to nothing, which is just terrible. But I'm not like that, and many other guys aren't, so we're not basing it as a rule for everybody. But you start them off with some gloves. You get them a vest, any kind of high visible vest. This actually has the reflectors for it. If you're doing road work, you can get that kind. And generally, even when I'm on the ground, I tend to like to, now normally I'll have this hat on if I'm wearing this, just so I can be seen by mainly the household or anybody else, because I'm doing more moving around and talking to different people. But I want to know where my guys are generally, so I give them a vest. Or if they don't have a vest, which is, you still would want to have a high visible hard hat. And you need a high visible hard hat, nothing special. You can get it from a hardware store. Just something when you're dropping limbs out of the tree, you want to provide some protection. Especially you guys in the bucket trucks. Sometimes you see them guys up there, they're cutting all crazy and stuff just flying all over the place, and you got to be careful, you know what I'm saying? So definitely some safety goggles, of course. I like Starlight. A lot of people use Starlights, and there's many brands of safety goggles. So choose something that works, something that's cheap. You can get a nice setup like this, and even there's more vests that you can use. There's different styles of vests. Anything that's just high visible. And I like these style earplugs. Now, I'll bust one open. I mean, y'all seen these type before. But this is basically your throwaway style, but they have the little ropes on them. And I like this because I can just hook them around my head if I take them off, instead of using like the earmuffs or anything, or the helmets with all the gear on it. I typically just like to have my guys wear something like this. And this is really simple. You can start them out, and this will help them to, you make sure that they have the boots on. If you're in rugged terrain, definitely have some kind of boots on. Steel toe preferably, but I understand everybody can't afford steel toes, but some kind of boots, some kind of long pants. I see a lot of guys working in shorts. I mean, if you can work in shorts, hey, more power to you, but typically it's better if you work in some kind of pants, whether a jean pant, a cargo pant that's rated for work, a work style pants, and also almost like these. They're not dress pants, but they're like a I think Red Cap or I can't think of the other company that makes these pants, but they have those pants, and I found a nice box on sale at the thrift store. And again, you can get your hard hats really cheap. You can get safety goggles really cheap. Your whole setup, you're looking at about $15-20 to take care of your guys, get them some good gloves, headgear after they got all the rest of their stuff. And then, of course, you want to train them right. So it's just a little, again, another tip of the trade to help you, to help yourself with your guys. And then if you climbing, now this is an older climbing helmet for yourself if you climb. This is actually a black diamond, and I got these stickers from the West Bar magazine. So if you ever just want to pull up the West Bar, they normally got some nice stickers in there. So if you ever see me with those on my helmet, that's where those come from. I like them. But this is really rated for like rock climbing. Now this is an older one, so this one's really more retired, but I keep it just in case, just a backup, just for little stuff or something like that. But generally OSHA will fine you like crazy if you have a lot of guys wearing stuff that's not within the years, or however they want you to have it, like a 5-year on each helmet or something like that. So you try to typically upgrade as much as you can. But like, again, it's just a backup in case I have to definitely need it. I'll have something, so we won't be walking out there blind. But here's a climbing helmet. They have many styles of these, so that's if you climb, you want to take care of yourself, and of course your regular PPE. Try to do the best that you can. You know, you can't prevent every accident, but you can try to be as safe as possible. So again, you're on with me, Tree Boy for Life. Check out my other videos. I think I might end up shooting a couple more videos on just some PPEs, different forms of PPE. When I get some of the gear together and assembled, I can show it to you, and what some guys typically use. But this is primarily what you would want for your guys on the ground to take care of them. So y'all keep working safe and do all you can. Again, to treat your guys fairly, pay them as much as you can. Buy them lunch, do whatever you do. A lot of tree guys do that. Buy lunch on Fridays or buy lunch every day, however you do it. Take care of them, and they'll help you make as much money as they possibly can. Peace out, Tree Boy for Life.